What is the difference between wasps and hornets? The curious world of insects sure has more than its fair share of remarkable characters buzzing about. Mean, sting-happy insects in particular have long been a subject of great curiosity, and we haven't even scratched the surface of what there is to see. Today, we've decided to look at two notorious flyby-shooters, wasps and hornets, that have well-earned reputations for aggression and overall nastiness. What are the similarities between the two? And more importantly, what are the differences? Let's talk about it. Distant relatives. For starters, both wasps and hornets belong to the Hymenoptera order of insects. Wasp is the generic term for any insect in the Apocrita suborder of Hymenoptera that isn't an ant or a bee. Bees belong to the clade Anthophila, while ants belong to the Formicidae family under the Apocrita suborder. Generally speaking, wasps are characterized as winged insects with narrow waists and the ability to sting repeatedly. In some species, however, female wasps do not have wings, which can be confusing. To add even more confusion to the definition, male wasps do not have stingers, so they cannot sting. So how do wasps differ from, let's say, bees? Well, bees have wider waists and can only deliver one sting before dying. Furthermore, wasps have hairless bodies compared to fuzzy bees. You'll find bees, ants, and sawflies are usually featured in taxonomic discussions about wasps because they are very closely related and share common ancestors. Therefore, the waters can get a little muddy where classification is concerned. After all, taxonomists are often classifying, reclassifying, and unclassifying these critters across genera, species, subfamilies, and all that other jargon. Then they have long-running debates about them. There are dozens of wasp families, taxonomically speaking, and there are several 100,000 species, if not 1 million or more. Despite decades of exploration, discovery, and study by insectologists, we haven't even discovered 50% of wasp species, meaning there is still plenty we do not know. But we also know quite a bit. For starters, we know wasps are highly adaptable. There are wasps everywhere in the world, bar the polar regions. Some are solitary, some live in pairs, while others are highly social and live as part of a hive. Hive wasps are also known as eusocial wasps. This global distribution means that wasps live in many environments. From wooded forests to scorching deserts, open grasslands, and swamps, different wasp genera and species have evolved for life in specific environments. Wasps can live deep in the wilderness or right on your front porch. Wasps have long had a complex relationship with humans. Most people who encounter a wasp quickly get nervous, and for good reason. When threatened or provoked, wasps will not hesitate to turn on you and deliver repeated stings. The stinger, located at the back of the abdomen, is retractable and used to inject venom into prey and would-be predators. The stinger is an evolution of the ovipositor, the canal through which females lay their eggs. Because males have no ovipositor, they do not have stingers. Many wasps are largely carnivorous, preying on other bugs including butterflies, bees, moths, spiders, aphids, and worms. This love for bug flesh also makes wasps a friendly sight for farmers who need help fighting off crop-killing pests like aphids and grasshoppers. They use their sizable mandibles to cut and manipulate food into their mouths. Wasps also feed on nectar, and adults in many species live on the stuff exclusively. They have a suction proboscis that allows them to consume their favorite tasty treat. In fact, many species have a penchant for sweetness, which is why all your picnics seem to attract uninvited buzzers. As far as the rest of their anatomy, wasps are classic insects. They have the traditional head, thorax, abdomen structure, 6 legs, and a hardened chitin exoskeleton that protects their bodies. This exoskeleton design is inspiring all sorts of human-scale inventions, including super soldier exoskeleton suits that, theoretically, allow wearers to run faster, jump higher, and yes, possibly fly. Speaking of which, wasps have 2 pairs of wings, one on each side. The forewings are larger and are connected to the smaller hindwings by a series of tiny hooks. Wasps have a large pair of compound eyes, as well as smaller eyes on the vertex of the head. These smaller eyes are called ocelli, and a wasp has several. Like many other insects, wasps have various development cycles. They start off as freshly laid eggs before hatching as larvae. Wasp larvae are very similar to maggots and are very vulnerable. Larvae usually grow up in a nest, or inside a host's body. That's right, some wasps lay their eggs inside prey animals like ladybugs or cockroaches, so the larvae hatch inside them and eat their way out. Wasps that rear young this way are known as parasitoid wasps, and there are thousands of species, each with its own twist on this grisly practice. So, now that we've touched on the basics of what wasps are, let's talk about hornets. Well, to be frank, the term hornet refers to wasps in the genus Vespa, under the Vespidae family. That's right, all hornets are wasps, but not all wasps are hornets. Like most of the Vespidae family, hornets are eusocial wasps. In fact, hornets are the largest of the eusocial wasps, and some species can reach lengths of 2.2 inches. There are 22 known species in existence and 8 extinct species, and all of them live in the northern hemisphere, but not within the Arctic Circle. The European hornet, aka Vespa crabro, is the most common species. This hornet dwells throughout Europe, and as far east as southern Siberia and eastern China. However, by far and away, the most feared species is the Asian giant hornet, Vespa mandarinia, which lives in Japan and parts of Southeast Asia and India. The Asian giant, also known as the Japanese giant hornet or giant sparrow bee, is the largest wasp species in the world. Queens often exceed 2 inches in length, while workers and drones range between 1.5 and 1.6 inches. Hornets spend most of their days in service to the hive, either as workers, drones, or queens. Workers are non-reproductive female hornets that carry out the widest range of tasks for the hive. They are responsible for the physical construction and maintenance of the hive, hunting for food, feeding and tending to larvae, tending to the queen, and defending the hive from threats. Most adult hornets in a given hive are workers, armed with their famous sting. Drones are adult male hornets with a single role: to fertilize queens and help spawn the next generation of vicious, stinging super wasps. There are much fewer drones than workers in a given hive. Drones are good at being good-looking, but they lack the mean sting females have. Queens are the heads of hornet nests and are the largest specimens. The queen's role is to scout for sites suitable for building hives, mate with drones, and lay eggs. Queens also build the hexagonal cells in which eggs, and eventually larvae, are kept. So essentially, the role of a hornet nest is to successfully rear new generations of queens and drones that will go on to form new hives elsewhere. Like most wasps, hornets operate on an olfactory plane. Smell plays an integral role in finding food, finding mates, and defending the home front. If a hornet is attacked and killed near its nest, the corpse will release pheromones that notify the rest of the hive of the threat. When the others get a whiff of the smell, they storm out and sting anything or anyone in sight. Because of this hyper-aggression, hornets are often regarded as pests in most of the regions they live. Honey farmers also hate hornets because they prey on honeybee hives. Interestingly, a squadron of 30 to 50 hornets can wipe out a hive of 10,000 bees in a matter of hours. When attacking prey, hornets use their fronts and rears. Their massive mandibles are perfect for decapitating aggressive bees and mantises, while their venom-laced stingers are perfect for subduing bulkier beetles and grasshoppers. A hornet hive is ravenous and must cater to the appetites of up to 700 workers, dozens of drones, and any number of larvae. As a result, a single hive can have significant ecological impacts. Hornets are highly regulated, and moving them across international borders is heavily restricted because they are highly invasive and highly dangerous. Differences between hornets and wasps. So how do hornets differ from their non-Vespa relatives? Well, for starters, and probably most important to you, hornets have a significantly meaner sting than other wasps. Folks unlucky enough to be stung by both almost always say the hornet was worse. This is likely a result of the relatively large volumes of acetylcholine in hornet venom compared to non-Vespa wasps. In a nutshell, acetylcholine has acetic acid that can wreak havoc on your nerves and hurt like all hell. The prospect of being stung by a hornet is also much more dangerous because a hornet is likely to have backup. The same 30 to 50 hornets that can destroy beehives can kill an adult human with repeated stings. 1 or 2 stings typically causes extreme pain, swelling, and redness for a few hours or even days. Hundreds of stings could cause dizziness, chest pains, heart attacks, hives, coughing, anxiety, paralysis, and death. If you are extra sensitive or allergic to hornet venom, Even one sting could cause serious trouble. Another difference is that hornets are larger than other wasps. Hornets tend to be longer and thicker than the sleek profile of a typical wasp. Diet is another area of potential difference. Adult wasps generally have a much greater affinity for the sugars in nectar and your can of Coke. Wasps cannot resist the smell of sweet foods and will usually investigate if they encounter it. Hornets also go after sugars, but it's usually at select times of the year and for specific reasons within the hive. Generally, hornets are much more active predators than typical wasps. Wasps' love for nectar also leads us to another interesting difference. They are pollinators. Of course, because they are relatively hairless, wasps are not as effective at transporting pollen as hair-covered bees. However, their movement from flower to flower still contributes to plant reproduction. Interestingly, countries like Germany are extremely protective of wasps and wasp nests because of this. Hornets seldom visit flowers, so their impact on pollination is near zero. Now let's talk about nests. Both hornets and wasps use chewed wood and saliva to make papery nests for rearing young and kicking back from the hustle and bustle. Hornet nests are generally larger than other social wasp nests. A hornet nest is about the size of a basketball, while the largest wasp nests are no bigger than an NFL football. Also, wasps tend to build their nests on top of or under horizontal platforms, like a roof eave or ceilings. Some wasps, like the yellow-jacket wasp, commonly mistaken for a hornet, build nests in underground burrows seized from or abandoned by other bugs. A hanging or platformed wasp nest is usually spherical and may have multiple entrances. Hornets generally build their nests in trees and bushes elevated off the ground. A hanging hornet nest is likely to be entirely closed off with only a single entrance. In some cases, hornets will form nests in open cavities like hollowed tree stumps. Only one hornet species, the ground hornet, makes nests underground. Sociability is another difference. Some non-Vespa wasps are social and form hives, while many others are solitary. However, all hornets are social and live in hives. Next is coloration. Most wasps have some combination of yellow and black, particularly striping. Some wasps also feature some red and blue patches. Most hornet species also stick to black and yellow, but a few species, like the ferocious bald-faced hornet, have black and white striping. If you see a large wasp with black and white rings on its abdomen, run. It's a hornet.